up, everybody? Alrighty, so today I have perhaps my biggest hobby accomplishment up to date, like ever. This is all of my plague guys. The only thing missing, I think I have one more stage 1 I can paint. I'm missing a Teraton somewhere, but that's about it. Other than that, that is all my plague dudes. So yeah, it's a lot, and I'm really proud of it. I think it turned out awesome. One of my favorite army projects ever. Not only because the plague are just freaking sweet, but because every one of these figures has a lot of personality and a lot of attention to detail. And you know, it kind of tells a story. You know, I have different kind of like factions of them. So let me give you the rundown of what all is in this giant heap of miniatures. So, starting off, we have the 2 stage 1s. Like I said, I think I have one more that I can paint, but in the original pose. But yeah, this guy was actually inspired by the front of the Warpath rulebook. Maybe I'll put a picture right now. But yeah, he's the guy like in the background fighting the Iron Ancestor. So I wanted to make one after that, and you know, I'm a big fan of switching up poses and putting different arms and stuff like that. So that's how this guy came to be. Pretty happy with the way he turned out. He looks pretty menacing. Yeah, so I have those two stage 1s, and then I have Subject 901. Subject 901 is an awesome model. It's hard to tell sometimes when, you know, when it's metal. But, you know, as I started painting it, I started seeing all the details, especially in like the wiring and the backpack and the little data pad thing. And yeah, I can't wait for his elite list that's coming out in the Outbreak book, along with all the other Warpath dudes. I'm really curious to see what kind of fun stuff he has to offer, because he's such a cool model, and I can't wait to get him on the table. Obviously, we've gushed about him a lot on the 3rd sphere, so yeah, he's awesome in Warpath. I want to see him to be awesome in Deadzone too, so cool model, and he's an awesome leader. Next up, I have the 2 swarms. This one is the original one that I like initially got back before I had painted all my plague slightly differently. So this one's a little bit more pink and a little bit of green tones, just to kind of amplify the grossness of it. And then this one's more of the modern take on it. So yeah, 2 plague swarms, and then you'll see behind them I have 22 puppers. Yep, 22 dogs, which is a menacing sight. So there's a good mix between like the Doberman, like hunting dog style, and like the Rottweiler, the newer ones. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. So yeah, a lot of dogs. Let's see. Next up, I have the 2 Teratons. So I've got one right here. This is the first one I did. Well, technically second one. I can't find my very original first one. But yeah. This guy's got like black and gold armor. Yeah, he's really cool. Nice. He's there. He's a good commanding presence. And then back here, because like I said, I like to have my guys kind of tell a story. This one is like the one from the lab where they wear blue. You'll see there's like different factions within my faction, which I'll get to in a second. But like, kind of the idea behind the army is that they're all the same because they're all plague, but they all came from different areas and places. So in a way, you know, plague is like a big unifying presence. So, you know, it's all for the greater good in a way, sort of, kind of, not really. All right, next up I have all of my stage 2s. So right now I have them separated into groups of 6. So some of these guys you've probably seen in my Deadzone games. Like this guy looks extremely feral, and then yeah. So but there's lots of head swaps and changes, especially from the Dreadball kit. So like this guy's like Grogan, like the super punchy dude. I'm a big fan of that. And then this nameless / Zor claw guy, he's really neat. That's one group of 6 over here. These guys are a little bit more straight up. These are mostly human. Except this guy's got a tentacle arm, and I kind of switched it up a little bit too on like what he's leaping over, because I just wanted to not only have those barrier pieces, you know, kind of switch it up. And then the last group, we have another punchy dude back here. We have a straight up Zor, which is cool. He's got the 2 claws. And then this is my personal favorite stage 2 of the whole group. Really living up to the Leaper name. Because, yeah, I had an extra flying base and I was like, I'm gonna make it happen. So, yeah, he's my favorite stage 2 of the whole shebang. And yeah, so that's the stage 2s. Next up, we have 3 Aberrations. I actually do have one more Aberration to paint from Star Saga, but I have not got around to painting any Star Saga yet because I've been so busy with this. Once I got going, I just built up momentum and wanted to keep going, so. Yeah, I've got 2 pretty much straight up, and then the third one you've seen in videos before, most likely. But he's like the super punchy version, so he's awesome. Let's see. Next up after that, we have the bulk of the force, which is 55 stage 3s. And like I said, there's a lot of head swaps, weapon changes, care, attention to detail. I kind of made them out by squads too, so there's like the couple different factions within this, where it's like these dudes are all like black armor or black unders, and then like shining white armor, like kind of like a security force. And then I had some fun with some army green stuff. So these are like Vietnam looking army guys with gold armor. You know, when you paint 55 stage 3s, you want them to kind of stand out and change a little bit. So then I had this blue one, which is kind of like the science team guys, which I kind of decided that this Terratone matched them. This dude is like the Yindage body, and like, yeah, there's just lots of stuff going on. This one, very close combat oriented. He has a Judwan head. There's the mortar guys. I have the mortars elsewhere, but yeah, it's just, this was probably the biggest task, is doing all of these stage 3s, because that was a lot of dudes, a lot of eyeballs, and I did all the eyeballs in all of them. I just made them like a cold white, just to emphasize the fact that they're kind of dead or not what they should be. So yeah, there's that. Just like the 55 stage 3s, there's actually 55 zombies. And so just to differentiate, just to make sure, I put them down into the trenches. You'll see some of them are like jail suit penal colony guys, some of them were like former soldiers, some of them were lab techs. Like I said, a lot of them tell a story, and I think that was really cool about the models, is that you're able to do that kind of thing just because the kits have so much variety to them. But yeah, another 55 models, so that was... And then, yeah, you might notice that all of my like straight up plague have like that dark muscle tone, but the zombies are kind of like a blue. I just like the idea of the zombies looking so different because they've just mutated in such a different way. So yeah, especially when you look at it from up here, you realize just how many models it is. It's a lot. Let's see. After the zombies, I can talk about the Strider, which I actually just painted today. I did back when I had Necrons for 40k, I had this kind of scheme that I made for the like rusty metal look, and I've always liked the way it looks. It's like dirty and rusty and metally, and then whatever color you have, because Necrons always have that bright green. I decided that a bright blue looked really good, so I tried some wet blending on the visor on this one, so that was a new technique for me. I don't know, it turned out pretty good. Not perfect, but pretty good. Pretty happy with the Strider. Let's see. Obviously I have the Hornet, which if you saw my previous video on it, the lights and things were green, but I decided the blue looks a lot better. So I changed up the bright green to blue in order to reflect that, because I think it looks really snazzy. There's still like green wiring and things, so I didn't like repaint the whole thing or anything like that, but yeah. Pretty nifty. And then finally, I have 5 murder birds. So the murder birds come with like all the little flocks too, but every time I started to paint those, I just hated it. I really hated painting those, so Maybe I'll get to those eventually, but right now I just wanted to paint the big ones because they were easier and more fun. Yeah, I have like the little flocks, but they're so small and fiddly, and I just my patience is running thin by the end of this project. I was just ready to be done because I wanted to put it on the table and see it, you know. So there's still things I can paint, but that is the gist of it. That is everything. If you see this coming, you better change your underpants and get a gun because, yeah. Anyways, this was an absolute blast to make. Hopefully I can continue this momentum and continue to finish up some Warpath models and things. Hopefully, I think the next one on my list is probably my Rebs. I have a pretty good amount of Rebs that I need to paint. They're primed and built, and they all have some fun features, so that's probably next up on my docket. But yeah, until then, holy cow, this is a lot of painting. Hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I do. This will be great for future battle reports. Obviously, I wanted to show it off, so I made some battle system stuff, did some battle zones just around it, just kind of set the scene. Busted out the old trench board, which I might end up working on more because there's always more that can be done with this thing. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this army, and I'm really proud of it, and hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this. So enough of me rambling. Yeah, go out and paint. Hopefully this inspires someone somewhere to do something. If you like this, please like, comment, subscribe. Keep rolling 8s, 6s, and all the above. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.